Burlington, Ontario is an amazing city to live in, but it's not right for everyone. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing the top 5 reasons why you might want to reconsider Burlington, Ontario. So while I do believe Burlington is an amazing city and I think it fits a wide variety of people and different lifestyles people look to achieve, it still can't encompass every single person's. So in today's video, like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about the top negative things associated with living in Burlington, Ontario. So if you're new here, my name is Matthew. This is my channel where I share everything about what it's like to actually live in Burlington from a local's perspective. So if you're interested in learning more or thinking about moving to Burlington, Ontario, make sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell to not miss out on any one of my future videos. Other than that, let's just dive on into it. And the very first negative associated with Burlington has to be the housing affordability. So due to the fact that Burlington has won multiple awards for its lifestyle and safety it offers residents, there's always a high demand of people looking to move to Burlington. And because of the high demand and such low supply of Burlington houses as it borders Lake Ontario to the south, the Greenbelt to the north, and then you have Oakville and Hamilton bordering its cities, there is not as much supply as there once was. And that's why you see the current median housing price for a detached home in Burlington being north of $1 million already. Now, there are other cheaper alternatives like attached housing or condos available to Burlington. And overall, Burlington housing affordability is going to be a little bit more. However, the cost of living in Burlington is slightly on par or just above the Ontario average. And if you are coming from a spot closer to Toronto, like Toronto or Mississauga, you're going to find Burlington's cost of living to be a bit more affordable. However, if you're moving from anywhere else in the province or Canada-wide, Burlington overall is going to be on the pricier side for cost of living as well. Now, if you want a full breakdown on the cost of living in Burlington, Ontario, you can check out my video right here. And other than that, let's move on to the second negative associated with Burlington, and that is it's an expanding city. So Burlington, because of the high demand of people, is routinely expanding and growing. So as a result, there is a lot more construction that's happening in the downtown core of Burlington. Now, don't get me wrong, it's nothing compared to what's happening in Toronto. However, you are going to have to deal with some construction if you do choose to like to live in that downtown core in the central or Maple neighborhoods. And with that said, it's starting to lose its small town charm. Now, don't get me wrong, downtown Burlington is one of the most beautiful spots to live as you can walk around to different locations. However, these downtown high-rises keep getting bigger and taller, and this is just to accommodate the massive demand, but you are gonna have to deal with the construction and all the pains construction has to deal with. But not only that, if you're looking for a large piece of land and you want a massive couple acre backyard, that's going to be really hard to find in Burlington. Now, Burlington has some great neighborhoods with mature lots offering an ample size, but if you're looking for more of that rural lifestyle, you can maybe find it in rural Burlington. However, it's going to be very hard and you might want to look in other cities that are further out of the GTA. So on the flip side of that, if you don't really care about having a large lot or coming from a rural area, but instead you're coming from Toronto and are looking to expand outward of the GTA, then Burlington is a great spot as you are going to get more room to enjoy your property. However, one of the negatives about Burlington is it's kind of boring at times as there's not really much of a nightlife scene in Burlington. Now, don't get me wrong, we have some great bars and some great activities that Burlington has to offer that you can go get drinks, but if you're used to that club lifestyle or that nightlife Toronto or Mississauga offers you, you're not going to be finding that in Burlington. But instead, we have some great bars like the Dickens, like the Coop, like Game Time Social, where you can go play games and grab a drink. Or you also have Club 54, which is probably the closest thing to a club lifestyle you'll find in Burlington. And also one honorable mention to the Port House, which is down on Lakeshore. They've started something up on Thursdays to have a little bit of club nightlife. But other than that, there's not much nightlife in Burlington for you to enjoy. So on the same note, if you enjoy living that urban lifestyle and don't want to rely on a car, Burlington is also not a great spot for you to live, as overall, if you're trying to maybe cut down your carbon emissions, or you just like that lifestyle of walking to go get your groceries, to go grab a bite to eat, most of Burlington doesn't really offer that. Yes, downtown Burlington really could offer that for you, but every other neighborhood couldn't. And therefore, if you enjoy that lifestyle, Burlington probably isn't the city for you, as 80% of its residents commute via car, and there's a good reason for that. Burlington's public transit isn't the best. While we do have it, it doesn't come every 5 minutes, it comes every 30 minutes. And for the most part, if you're in North Burlington, the public transit to get around the city is very cumbersome. As I know for myself, there's been times where I wanted to go east to west, but in order to go east to west in Burlington, I first had to so I live in North Burlington. So in order to go from east to west, I had to travel from North Burlington all the way down to South Burlington to Appleby Go, only to catch another bus that catches another bus that goes west of Burlington. And the bus stops are pretty spread out within Burlington. So if you are interested in having that commuter lifestyle, make sure that if you are commuting to Toronto, you live around one of Burlington's 3 GO train stations, or you're in the central core where there's a lot of buses going. Because if you're not in those locations, good luck on getting around on the public transit or walking around. And now the final negative really associated about living in Burlington, Ontario is it has 4 seasons. Now overall, I honestly have to say I love Burlington's weather, as yes, we're in Canada, we get the 4 seasons. You get the winter, you get the hot summers, but because of where Burlington is located on Lake Ontario, we do get the lake effect for slightly milder climates. So if you're Canadian, you're gonna find Burlington a quite nice treat, as there's gonna be less precipitation and snowfall and milder climates in the winter, but also in the summer, especially if you live by the lake, as all the breezes really help to cool down on the hot summer days. So if you're Canadian, you're gonna absolutely love Burlington's weather. However, if you're coming from more of a southern part, this is maybe one of the negatives Burlington has to offer, as unfortunately, when you live in Canada, you are gonna have to deal with some cold winter days as well as some hot, humid summers. However, overall, Burlington is a great spot to live with mild climate compared to where you find, let's say, Orangeville, where you're in the snow belt and you're getting dumped on snow. Burlington, you won't have that. There's been times, now, guilty, I like wearing shorts in the winter, but if you don't like wearing shorts in the winter, you still don't even have to worry about that, as typically we get our snowfall much later in the year than some neighboring cities. So that is a bit of a plus depending on where you're coming from and what your perspective is on the weather. So if you've enjoyed this video and it's helped you better understand whether or not Burlington, Ontario is the right spot for you to live, make sure to hit the like button, as it really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're interested in learning more about living in Burlington and want to understand truly what it's like to live from a local's perspective, make sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell to not miss out on any one of my future videos. And if I didn't scare you away from moving to Burlington, Ontario and want a professional to help you out with your transition and understanding the real estate market, feel free to send me a message or leave a comment down below and we can get connected so I can learn how best I can help you. So other than that, the next video I'd recommend you check out is the cost of living in Burlington, Ontario. Other than that, guys, hope you have a great day.